2NURFM.com, a broadcast service of the University of Newcastle.
And coming up on March 8th, that is International Midwives Day. It's quite good timing also because there's an exciting new locally produced documentary. It's called The Face of Birth. I tell you what, it's getting a lot of interest, so much so that I think it's been translated into around 10 different languages. Let's find out all the details. I've got co-director Gavin Banks with me this morning. Good morning, Gavin.
Hi, Dave. Thanks so much for having me.
Am I correct in saying that 10 different languages?
Actually, look, the languages increase each day, 12 languages to date,
Wow.
with it being translated into a Norwegian as we speak.
Now tell me, why such a great interest in this particular documentary?
Look, this is a film that started many, many years ago, and it's a film all about how important choice is for women in childbirth. The concept was introduced to me by a midwife who had stopped being a midwife because she lost her indemnity insurance, not because of anything of herself, but through the crash of the 2000 September 11th. The insurer was knocked over and that changed everything. The importance of this story for me, and it's been a 9-year journey to get here, has been seeing the difference between women who are really well informed and empowered in childbirth and women who go into, and families who go into childbirth not really understanding where it's going and how it all works, and then not being looked after emotionally and spiritually and psychologically through the process and the damage that can do. So The Face of Birth has been taken up. Well, we launched the film a year ago on International Women's Day. We had over 100 screenings around Australia and New Zealand, and it was taken up by women all over the country. And look, the film actually made over $100,000, which is fantastic for this is for an independently released documentary. It's amazing. Now the film is, because the film is about something that is universal and an experience that is shared with all women, regardless of colour, creed, religion, whatever. We found that what looked like was going to be just a little film about what's going on in Australia actually has universal appeal because the issues are the same everywhere.
Tell me, when it comes to the documentary The Face of Birth, one word really stands out to me. Can you explain it and its association? That word is choice.
Choice. I think we all know that knowledge is power. And if we go to McDonald's, for example, and we say we can have anything on the menu, it looks like we have choice. McDonald's will hate me for saying this. What we have choice of is food that can be prepared by teenagers within so many minutes. And if we see that that's all there, if we think that that's all there is, we miss out on the full gamut of all these other things. And also, there are also consequences of just eating from that fare every meal of the day. So choice in childbirth, we believe that we have choice here in Australia, but in actual fact, we don't. Women's choice isn't respected. They aren't able to birth any which way and with whom they want to in Australia. We're very lucky in Newcastle because Dr. Andrew Bissett's and a group of very, very dedicated midwives and activists in Newcastle actually turned things around and have given us a system within Newcastle that is quite unique in Australia and affords a lot more choice for women in terms of their place of birth. But that is not something that is locked in and secure forever and could change if somebody decides that they don't think that they want to go that way anymore. But also, we need to be able to support women to birth the way they need to.
Now, you mentioned Dr. Andrew Bissett's. He will be part of the Red Carpet event, which is happening this Friday night at the Tower Cinemas in King Street, Newcastle. He'll be a guest speaker along with yourself. What will he be talking about?
Look, Andrew has been to quite a few screenings and is a big advocate for the film because it distills... There have been many arguments levelled against women choosing how they give birth. And the film addresses all of those issues and the importance. And Andrew is somebody who really gets it and supports it. And he's one of many obstetricians who do, and many midwives and many health practitioners. But what I've got to say is that there is, they are in the minority, and slowly we're hoping to change that culture. So Andrew will be talking about what he thinks about the film and about his experiences, and there to fill any questions. And he has a very large following. He's very, very popular.
Now, Gavin, as a filmmaker who concentrates on a particular story or a particular theme, in the last 12 months, it must be very important the feedback that you get from the people that come along and watch that story or that film that you've gone and created and spent your time and money and effort into. What's the feedback that you're getting, the general response from everybody that watches the production of The Face of Birth?
The response has been overwhelmingly positive. We've had women in their mid-20s who aren't even considering having children come and watch the film and say, I had no idea. This is so important. I really didn't understand what the film was about, and I didn't think it'd be relevant to me. But now I have all this information and I'm so excited. I feel like I can, instead of fearing birth, I can look at it as something that could be an amazing experience for me. And at the other end of the spectrum, we've had, there was a 65-year-old lady, and this is not uncommon, really warm, friendly character who, talked to everybody. At the end of the screening, she disappeared. And we got a text message the next day saying, thank you so much for that film. I finally understand what happened to me 40 years ago at the birth of my boy. And your film has given me the tools to unpack that and start to process and deal with the grief that I had around my own birth, which was traumatic. So it's a film that, on the surface, with the introduction of the film, it looks like it's going to be a film about rah-rah home birth. It's nothing of the sort. It's a film that uses what was going to become the illegalisation of home birth in Australia to actually unpack what birth is really about and how important choice is, and that regardless of how you birth, and who you are, that in order to have a safe birth, it's about you having the right people around you, being and being respected and being informed.
Now, this movie, is it fair to say this is not just for mums, daughters, sisters, aunties? This really is for every woman to see this movie.
Absolutely. And look, I'd say men too. I would put out the big challenge. Men, get out there and support your women. This is something that has the impact. Birth has the potential of setting up your relationship with your partner and either taking it down a road that's really destructive or really, really great. And you can be the one that decides that, and it's lack of information, it's lack of understanding about the gamut of what it is and how important it is, that really is the thing that undoes us. So here is a film, and look, we've had, women in the States, women in Croatia. There's 24 screenings happening in Croatia alone. There's women from all over the world saying, yes, this is important, watch this film, be informed, be empowered, and, birth can be amazing.
So our listeners, can we come along on Friday? Is there limited seats?
Absolutely no. Yeah. Look, we've got the 420-seat cinema. Mm-hmm. We're hoping people are going to start buying, going to buy more tickets online so that we know just how many people are coming. But if we fill that cinema online, we can actually be bumped up to the big 720. Mm. So I'd encourage you, get in there, grab your tickets at Event Cinemas, on the online website, The Face of Birth. The tickets include a glass of wine on arrival and classical music. It's a dress-up event, and it'll be lots of fun.
It is on this Friday. That's Friday, March 8, Tower Cinemas, King Street, Newcastle. You will have the guest speaker there, Dr. Andrew Bissett's. Also, co-director Gavin Banks will address you before you get to see this amazing movie. So if you'd like some more details, by all means, give us a call at 2NURFM. Our phone number here is 49215555. We have everything you need to know about the special red carpet event, which is The Face of Birth, this amazing documentary. Thank you for stopping by and saying hello to us today, Gavin.
Thanks so much, Dave.